All right, another Josh cast. I'm recording sitting next to my space heater, and the temperature outside is probably 75 degrees. But I am weak. I'm weak. I can't handle it. I can't handle anything resembling cold. I'm holding a slice of apple in my uh, hand right now. It's too cold. It's too cold. Now taking a bite of that apple. The apple is I think of the apple and I get terrified because I like apples, but it's not always my favorite fruit. Like if I had to choose a favorite, it would be probably over on the orange, something that's tangier than the apple. It's not that I dislike apples, but there's always a sweeter fruit. Ooh, maybe that should be the name of this podcast. There's always a sweeter fruit than an apple. And I'm afraid that I'm like that. I'm that, but people. Like there's better. I'm a comedian, neurotic Jewish comedian. I mean, Richard Lewis did it better, but I'm here. I'm available. I'm available for parties, bar mitzvahs, apples. That's like comparing apples and oranges. Can't you compare? You could compare them, can't you? I mean, apples taste one way, oranges taste another way. It's actually rather easy to compare apples and oranges, now that I think about it. By the way, me trying to riff on yes, you can compare apples and oranges is a pretty standard bit that all comedians come up with when they've been doing stand-up for 3.5 years. That's the kind of thing they think about at the 3.5 year point. Like there's the stages of grief. I think there's the stages of being a comedian and the material. Stage one is genitals. You just talk about your genitals. Stage two is that hot political take. And stage three is what's the deal with ... Comparing apples and oranges as an example. And then around about stage 100, you you're funny. You find your own funniness. And then stage 200, you are still not famous and you're bitter and angry. And stage 300, you are either dead or bitter and angry, and you're that old comic that the young comics are like, yeah, he's funny. I wonder why I never really broke. Excuse me. It's the space heater. Space heater. It always pushes dust out, blows dust in my face. And this is a podcast I'm recording with the wireless AirPods, which I probably called AirBuds from a previous podcast. I am turning into the old man that mispronounces things. I got me one of them AirBuds. You mean AirPods? Yeah, whatever it is. And the things that are put in my ear, and I can hear what's on the telephone. I can hear what's on the InstaTalk. No, I'm swiping on my Tickogram. Yeah, that's Writing jokes about being old and making fun of old people is stage 5, by the way. I was writing my morning papers, my journaling. I was journaling this morning. I was doing some journaling, and I found myself giving credit to other people's ideas. I was basically footnoting my own journal that no one else is going to read. But in spite of the fact that no one else, even if no one else is going to read it, I want to make sure that let it be known that this line I wrote was a line I heard in Family Guy. Just so you know, God. So that happened this morning. I've been producing 3 videos a day and putting them out on TikTok, and I'm exhausted because I'm putting stand-up clips on, and I'm subtitling those clips, and if I make a little video, I'm trying to subtitle everything I'm doing. That's taking extra time, and how is it? I'm still not doing it right. There are people who they put up 2 videos and suddenly they have 500,000 followers. I put up 3 videos a day since August last year, and I've never encountered that kind of viewership. I think that the TikTok algorithm, my relationship with the TikTok algorithm is the same as the relationship I had with those kids in middle school where I was trying so hard to be their friend and they like tolerated me. That's what it feels like is happening with TikTok. TikTok is tolerating me right now. Every now and then, one of my videos gets 1,000 views. And I love that as I am describing and complaining about this, I feel like I'm sounding more and more like a Valley girl. It's like, why is my algorithm not working like Clarissa's? Clarissa's algorithm is like totally working. TikTok loves Clarissa. TikTok does not love me. Sorry for the sniffles. Again, it's the dust from the space heater. So, yes, getting frustrated with the TikTok. Not sure why some videos work and some don't. I feel like I pour my heart out in one video. No one cares. In another video, I'm like, look, spandex. Isn't that interesting? 5,000 views. I just don't understand it. I'm also trying to share all my videos on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and I should probably put it on Twitter and Facebook so that the same 5 people who've been watching me for the last 10 years can now have something new to watch. Basically, I've just increased the amount of energy and time I'm putting into going around in circles, basically, is what's happening. But I don't want this to be an entire 20-minute diatribe about TikTok. I want to go deeper. Let's talk about the deep things. The funny thing is that for all my love of superheroes, I have never really gotten into the CW stuff, the Arrowverse stuff. And I've tried here and there, but there's like a style. They have a style that I just can't get into. And it's it feels very Dawson's Creek-y to me. It's young, attractive people who are saying, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Can you believe this? I can't believe this. Can you believe this? I can't believe it. And they're all attractive. And I'm jealous. But I was watching a couple of clips from the new Superman and Lois show, and they're really trying to make this cinematic. Like there's They're standing in their house, and there's heavy shadows everywhere. I'm sitting here thinking, is the entire Clark Kent family just going to stand in the dark the whole time? What's going on? Somebody turn on a light, for God's sake. The sun's going down. He's Superman. He could even, can he glow? But what I love is that it's this very dark, atmosphere, very filmic, very filmic, but it's still that same kind of CW style. So now I can barely even see the silhouettes of the people in this dark movie-like, highly cinematic lighting, and it's still this is amazing. I can't believe it. I can't believe this either. Cory, I totally can't believe this. Can you believe this, Cory? I can't either, Cory. I'm convinced that both of his kids are named Cory because I'm jealous of attractive people. That would be the kind of show that's on the CW. Of course, Superman and Lois, the two most attractive people in the DC universe, have kids, and they're attractive. Yeah, I can really relate to this show. I can really connect with a family where I don't know, 2 to 3 out of 4 of them are immortal. Yeah. And just perfect and beautiful in every way. Great. Call me when you make a show where the Penguin has kids. And we see a whole show about that. There we go. And they're depressed sitting there in the sewers. Finally, something I can relate to. But you will never see that on the CW. That's an Adult Swim situation. Or maybe, if the acting is really good, an HBO situation. But you will never see that on the CW. The CW, it doesn't matter the genre. It doesn't matter whether it's superheroes or witches or science fiction. Eternally, the CW is always going to be two very attractive people in a room going, I can't believe this, Cory. Can you? I can't either, Cory. I can't. Can you believe that we're trapped in an alternate dimension, Cory? I can't, Cory. How about you? No. I cannot believe it. Are these bad shows? No. These are high quality shows. I'm just bitter because I want to be that attractive. I am the one with the problem, not the shows. You should watch, if you're into superheroes, you should watch these shows because and you can watch 19 seasons of attractive people going, Cory, I think this is a different dimension. You're a different Cory, aren't you? Yeah, I'm a different Cory, but kind of the same Cory. Like I'm a different Cory, but still attractive. There's no multiverse where I'm an unattractive Cory. And if such a thing exists, that's called Showtime Network. Yeah, well, apparently I'm that bitter. Apparently, I am that bitter. Which means I am in stage 100 of being a comic. Sitting there watching these people talking about Cory on the CW. Sniffling. So, that felt good. I'm enjoying myself. I don't know if you are, but I'm enjoying myself with this process. I like that it's a 20-minute rant, I guess, is what we'll call this. A 20-minute rant on life. A 20-minute rant about life, my friends. Life as we know it. A 20-minute rant about life. Getting a bit claustrophobic with this pandemic. listening to, okay, so I was listening to the Alec Baldwin podcast, which I love listening to because I've said this before and I will say it again. I love listening to Alec Baldwin's podcast because it is the closest we are going to get to a podcast as done by The Shadow. I'm pretty sure I've done a variation of this on a previous podcast that I've done, but I would want nothing more than to see who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men. The Shadow knows. Join me as I have an in-depth conversation with one of these men, and you and I find out what evil lurks in their hearts. Shadowcast, brought to you by iHeartRadio. Which I guess would be The Shadow meets Mark Maron. You are the supervillain. Arachnicon. Let's take it back. When did you become a supervillain and why? Where did you grow up? At any rate, I'm listening, rather, to Alec Baldwin's podcast. But it was so descriptive, it was like I could see it. It was like I was watching it. That's how good of a podcaster that man is. And he was interviewing a psychiatrist who was talking about how she's attempting to use psychedelics for therapeutic purposes. And not specifically, not the street psychedelics, but these are more measured doses of the pure versions of some of those same psychedelics. And the notion is that if somebody is afraid to go there or afraid to open up, they take the psychedelic, they become connected with the universe, they have a transformative session, and they come out of it better able to move forward. And what struck me is how she's saying that people are, I guess they're afraid to open up and talk about what's bothering them, so they take the psychedelic and that helps open them up. And I'm sitting here thinking, God, that was me. That's what our theater training was. 4 years of what do we not want to talk about? Let's talk about it. And I want to go on record as saying, I'm glad, because I feel like it's become a cheap joke, which is I'm a theater major. Whoa, is that a waste of a degree? All I've learned how to do is be a barista. And in all fairness to theater majors and to the theater programs and to my theater program, I'm glad I did it because it forced me to feel. And I still struggle with being able to feel, but I got a lot of good tools from that department that helps me process and helps me. I can now, I can now, with a little bit of effort, cry occasionally, which for me is a huge step forward. So I'd like to thank my theater department. Not enough to actually donate because every year they email me because I'm still, not a success yet. But I do want to give them credit where credit is due. Credit is due, not adieu. It's almost a pun on credit is goodbye, as in adieu, remember me. Which is from Hamlet, when the ghost of his father tells him what happens. The ghost of his father, I think, is doomed to walk the earth forever. He could have stuck around for a few more minutes and given some details that would have helped Hamlet believe him. Why does he appear to Hamlet? Could have appeared to Gertrude, could have appeared to Claudius. Why not haunt Claudius? I think it's pretty obvious that Hamlet already was emotionally unstable before this. You got to go pester the kid? He didn't do anything. He was at school. One wonders. But I guess hindsight is 2020. Well, 20 minutes, 15 seconds.